while doing the market analysis, we have found that the land cultivation has contributed 72% of the total agri composition, and it has the total among the total population. It includes 48% of the total labor force. Mohajans and Baparis, like the intermediaries, the intervention of intermediaries is increasing the price, and the farmers are not getting the fair price. Again, the low quality of seed, which is like reducing our productivity of land. Absence of proper storage, which is also increasing the price, and again, transportation problem. Lack of proper steps of government is another thing, that very less number of visits of local or block supervisors. So we have gone through some objective-based solutions. We were given 4 objectives. We have prioritized them. First of all, we have to improve the social status of the farmers by changing the mindset of the general people, and then raising awareness among the farmers. And then we will attract foreign investors, and ultimately we will uphold Bangladesh as an agricultural band.
Moving on with the mobile shops that we're talking about, it's kind of like an open cell operation, but it's exactly not that. Mobile shops will be targeting the restaurant, the super shops, and as well as the hospitals, so that these people who are engaged with the consumers can get the maximum out of it at a minimum rate than the market price. Now, whatever the government we are saying is that the E over here, the entity, can be a proposed entity from the government side, or it can be an NGO like Catalyst or BRAC, who are working for the farmers. Now, what we have seen is that this JIT, the just-in-time process, what we have done is that we are not wasting any time in transporting the goods from the rural side to the urban side, so that as we have known that the farmers are being deprived and the consumers are being deprived in 2 most farther ends. So what we are proposing is that we are giving the farmers a fair price, and at the same time we are taking less price from the consumers. Now, what are the benefits? The farmers, they are quick generation of the revenue and getting the fair price, at the same time reducing the transportation cost. An entity, no holding cost or less holding cost, buying at a lower rate than the market price, and proper implementation will lead to huge market, as we know. Now, government, it will be explained later further and by my next speaker, and the consumers are getting fresh products and buying at a cheaper rate.
I am going to address William Barnback, a brand philosopher, who has said that nothing kills a bad product faster than good advertising. So we are not going to brand or promote any kind of products which maximum people will be able to know. We are rather going to produce a base. That's why in Global Agriculture brand, we are going to promote Bangladesh as a country of organic agriculture. Why organic agriculture? I have told you about the history, remember? So with that, we have jute, rice, shrimp. We have a disrupted image of Bangladesh in there, lost heritage, cement, cadmium, you all know it. For that, we have come here with a brand image as organic agriculture country, Bangladesh, with some unique advantages. What are the advantages? We have fertile soil, we have availability of raw input, we have compost, and so on. Availability of raw input such as neem, which we can use our neem leaf in pesticides or insecticides in order to produce original insecticides and pesticides. The brand promise which we are giving here is that 100% organic, no extra chemical will be used, organic certification. With that, we will be able to export internationally the organic brands, and the government focus is there. In that case, the Bangladesh will be remember and will put in a national category in export.
We already have heard how with our model, we plan to change the fate of the farmers with a fair model. We also heard how we want to brand Bangladesh as a country of organic agriculture. And that's where I come now and telling you those are the major aspects, but there are other aspects we need to cover. We need to make those farmers aware and educated of their rights. We also need the general people to change their mindset about thinking of the contribution of the farmers in making of Bangladesh what it is today. So ladies and gentlemen, in awareing and educating farmers, we mostly want to follow and we mostly want to focus on land cultivating farmers. Why? I have 2 reasons. Number 1 is the land cultivating farmers who are mostly deprived, but secondly, among the whole agriculture sector is the land cultivation which brings 72% of earning in Bangladesh. So we need to have a very good focus on that. So in our communication to make those people aware, we go for 360-degree communication so that we can cover all the aspects in communicating those farmers and make them aware of their rights. We go for public relations, in which we will mostly focus on school teachers, mosque spokespersons, whom we also know as muezzin and imam. We also focus on the opinion leaders who actually have a very good impact over the local people's life. essentially it's those rural people who listen to those people very much because they respect them so much, and that is why we can ask them and we can make them morally obliged to help us and to negotiate with us. But secondly, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go for radio commercials. So because in rural area, radio is a good mode of entertainment. Then we'll go for print media, through which we'll give some newspaper ads. But not only, I want to make sure that it's newspaper ad we'll keep in a very minimal level, because there are some farmers who have the basic and primary education. Even if they don't have the basic education, their sons know the education, right? But next, we go for multimedia communication, through which we'll promote some training program on TV, so that those farmers actually get much more ideas about the contemporary agriculture knowledge, so that they can get much more self-sufficient and much more self-reliant. We'll also have some drama which will give some awareness, raising a message, because it's drama through which those rural people and those farmers feel much more connected. We want to use that connection medium to make them much more aware of their right. Next, we'll go for some sponsorship. With that sponsorship, we have a unique idea, week-long workshop, which is semi-annually. So in 1 year, we'll have two workshops for particularly one week long, which will make them much more aware of the current market, current agriculture market, and current rights of which they need to be aware. We also need to go for the events in which we'll focus the connection points to which they are much more attracted. We'll use close-up one artists and those boy artists, and through their song, through their lyrics, we'll make them much more aware of their rights and educate them of their contribution. We'll go for agricultural fair, and through which they can be much more connected towards the first level of the country. And lastly, we'll go for farmers awards, through which we can actually acknowledge their contribution, but we can make them much more encouraged to do very good in their job.
Have you done any sense of commercial assessment of how that would mean commercially? Because as it is, it will mean expensive for people who will be going into it. So do you have any commercial analysis on that?
Basically, we know that it's going to be a bit expensive. That's why we say that we are not going to go for those shops at the first year. Rather, when we're trying to generate a little bit of revenue, we'll go it in the second or the third one, so that our cost can cover up that one.
The question I have is actually in that hub area, in that your GIT area, how are you to ensure that?
We put the management on third party, so the management goes on. We prefer it goes on NGO who are working with farmers like catalysts. So so that they can get into the core, right? They are working with farmers, they know about farmers, right? And sir, you're talking about corruption. If corruption is there, no model is going to work, right, sir?
Just to add it, sir, let the odds be in our favor, because if corruption exists, none of the models will stand ever. So taking that assumption, we have proposed the model.
Runners-up of Brandwitz 2013. We would like to request Ms. Rumana Rahman and Mr. Tasin Said to announce the first runners-up of this year's Brandwitz.
First runners-up for Brandwitz 2013 is Team Fanush, United International University.
We would like to request Mr. Didi Ghoshal to hand over the individual press. Here we have the first runner of Brandwitz 2013, Team Fanush with BDD 50,000. Actually, the moment that we've all been waiting for, the final result of tonight. The winner, the champion of Brandwitz 2013. The winner of Brandwitz 2013 is going to be announced by our director, sir, and Mr. Rajiv Bhattacharya.
Okay, the winner of Brandwitz 2013 is Agri Pencils from IPA.